In 2024, Apple Watch will celebrate its 10-year anniversary and it's planning a massive redesign to launch what's rumored to be called the Apple Watch X. This is going to be similar to the iPhone X or 10, the 10th anniversary edition when Apple made a massive redesign and got rid of that home button to make, just like Steve Jobs promised us, a giant screen. So the question is, what's Apple got lined up for its 10th anniversary Apple Watch? In this video, I'm going to tell you about the exciting changes that are rumored for this watch. So what are we waiting for? Let's get into it. First, the biggest change expected is the design. All these 10 years, Apple has not really changed the design of the Apple Watch too much. In fact, the current Series 9 kind of looks like the original Apple Watch Series 1. Just have a look, it's really not that different. The bezels got thinner and the edges got rounder and the material got slicker, but it kind of looks the same. This year, Bloomberg's Mark Gurman, a long-term, reliable Apple Watch analyst, reports that we're getting the biggest Apple Watch overhaul yet. So from a design perspective, that would mean either a circular design or a much slimmer iPhone-like rectangular design that has been rumored for several years now. And it's most likely going to be the latter since Apple has kind of stayed away from circular designs and the watchOS is specifically designed with a rectangular shape in mind. So for a circular shape, the whole OS would need to be modified, and I'd imagine that given the Apple Watch is the single most successful smartwatch in history, Apple isn't going to want to mess with this for no reason, and rather they'll just focus on improving the software in its current shape. And of course, it's going to be thinner. Apple is obsessed with making everything thinner. Just look at the impossibly thin iPad Pro M4. That's the thinnest Apple device yet. So if it's going to be thinner, do you actually want to get a sneak peek into what it could look like? Well, it's all rumors, but there's a few great YouTubers who made some sweet looking concepts that I'll show you with a credit shout out and thank you to them. Here's Zone of Tech, who's made some really nice concepts. That one looks pretty sweet. And also here's one from Apple Track who's taken a very different take on it to keep the rounded edges but make it look significantly thinner. I like this one as well. Which one do you like better? Let me know down in the comments and we can talk there. The other big design change rumored is the band system for connecting the straps, where Apple might be switching to a magnetic band system that makes it super easy to switch Apple Watch bands versus how you have to press a button and then try to slide it in and out today, which works kind of fine, but it's a bit fiddly and not something that you can quickly do every morning to switch your band. Now, of course, the other advantage for something like this is that Apple will be able to save the space taken up by the band connector to cram in more internal hardware like a bigger battery in a smaller form factor. There's also rumors that they're planning to make the screen more energy efficient to support this as well. But let's move to the health and fitness features, and this is really the core of what the Apple Watch really is. Now, Apple has told us several times that they think of this as a way not just to make a better Apple Watch, but to transform the entire healthcare industry. In fact, Tim Cook has recently said, and I quote, "I do think there'll be a day when people looking back will say that Apple's greatest contribution to the world was healthcare." Now, tech wars aside, you can be an Android fan or an Apple fan. I think this is an inspiring vision and also an infinite game, which is something I'd love to cover in a separate video if you want me to. Let me know in the comments and we can talk there. Now, Apple Watch Series 9 already has super useful health features like heart rate monitoring, blood oxygen level monitoring, sleep monitoring, and menstrual cycle health. And in the Apple Watch X, the rumor is that they might add a few long-awaited features like blood pressure monitoring and hypertension detection, and also sleep apnea detection. High blood pressure is a massive, widespread condition, and more than half the people who have it don't actually know that they have it. And high blood pressure over sustained periods can actually lead to all kinds of life-threatening conditions like diabetes and other heart disease. Now, the blood oxygen and ECG features that are there on the Series 9 today are quite good, but they're pretty niche and not applicable to a wide set of people. But this one is massive. Just to be clear, it won't actually take a reading of your blood pressure. Rather, it'll monitor it for you and check for a pattern to see if it's trending upwards or downwards, and alert you to go check it if it sees the trend go wrong. The second health feature is sleep apnea monitoring. Now, sleep apnea is a sleeping disorder that affects your breathing when you sleep and causes loud snores, causes you to stop breathing in the night, that makes you wake up, and hence you don't really get a restful night's sleep. So many people who have this tend to wake up super tired every day, and many people don't even know that they have it. So this feature could help a lot of people figure out if they have this condition and get the treatment they need. And finally, the most important feature that we know the least about, but we all know is coming. Yes, you guessed it. It's AI. Apple has been improving and adding the neural engine to its latest chips, including the M4 on the iPad and the Macs and the A18 on the iPhone 16s that's expected this year. And we can expect that this extends to the renewed version of the S9 chip that might launch later this year. In fact, the S9 already has 4 neural engine cores, something that none of the Apple Watches had before. But the big question is, are you enjoying my video, and would you be willing to subscribe to my channel and like the video to support small creators like me trying to make useful, high quality content for you? Of course, the real question actually was, how will this neural engine on the chip actually change your life? What's the real application that we all care about? Well, a lot of the recent rumors point to a massive push that Apple's going to make towards AI at WWDC 2024 in the summer, and Siri could likely be the center of all of this. First of all, they'll probably help Siri get faster. Now, this is already kind of happening on the latest Ultra 2 watch, where all of the Siri processing happens on board, and hence it's much faster to respond. And second, it should help Siri get better. Using AI, Siri will understand context much better. For example, if you ask it to search for the weather next month, it might not just tell you the weather where you are, but be able to quickly figure out from your calendar that you're going on vacation to a new place next month and ask if you want to know the weather there. Now, that's intelligent. There's also the possibility that they make the AI in Siri multimodal, just like Meta and OpenAI and Google have been doing, which means that it'll take its existing functionality of processing text commands and expand this to process video inputs, images using the iPhone's camera, even sounds using the microphone. In theory, you should be able to do the things with it that you do with the Meta Ray-Ban sunglasses, like asking it how to make a dish using the ingredients you're looking at, or with the Rabbit R1, where you can point it to a yummy sandwich and ask it, what are the ingredients in it? Or be able to live translate the conversation you're having with someone in front of you whilst they're speaking. Now, these features are genuinely useful, unlike most of Siri today, and make a significant impact to your life, and it makes it worth your money to upgrade to the new Apple Watch versus some of the more marketing gimmick-like features like processors that get sold to you on the watch every year that really don't matter so much. So are you excited about the Apple Watch X? Let me know in the comments, and meanwhile, here's my full review of the Apple Watch Ultra 2 and why I think it's actually cheaper than you think. See you there.